pouring my tea. Hi Heather. Maybe it's just you and me today. It's a bit cold today. Whew. Hello Evelyn, hello Stephen, hello Carol. Just poured myself some tea in my festive mug. Hi Sarah. Hello Louise. Hello Rose. Hello Jennifer. Hello Louise. Hi Sally, on time. Hi Tracy, how are you? Hello Sally. Hello Adeline. Hello Louise from the Netherlands. Hi Mel. Hello Carol. Wendy. Have the paints arrived? Hello Judith. Hi Annalene. I think quite a lot of you will have had your set of paints through the post maybe today. Will, hello, how are you? Where are you? Are you at home with Mum and Dad? Hello Emma. Marion and James I should say, how are they? Hello Jacob. My glasses. Got quite a few things. Hi Liz. Hello Catherine. Not yet. Might be in box today. Well, I know someone else who was sent in the same batch as yours arrived today. Hello, good thanks. Up north. Yeah, great. Going to do a little bit of carrying on from some of the stuff that we did. Was it yesterday? Yes, it was yesterday. Do you remember we started? Hello, Amanda. We got those black parrot tulips in a tub that were blowing in the wind yesterday. Just looking absolutely beautiful today. But I carried on with them. So there's just like a tiny bit more to do on here, which we can do together. Hello Chris, hello Sally. And then there's the little leveret. Do a little bit more on that one. And then start on something else. Howdy, howdy, howdy. So I think that, honestly I'll tell you something funny. This morning, obviously we had Boris on the phone last night who's made things so much clearer. Mind you, if I was Theresa May, I'd be laughing my head off because that was a bullet she dodged, wasn't it? So, yes, it's not a job I would want. Anyway, I haven't seen my mother since about the 20th of March and she doesn't live that far away. And I spoke to her this morning, I had a chat with Fifey and we thought, well, you know, if it's not just essential travel and people are allowed to drive out and go for walks and whatnot, then perhaps I can eventually go and see my mum. So I gave her a ring and said, how would it be if I, because I have some stuff to do for work, if I came to your place, and not tomorrow, but the day after when it's a bit warmer, and I could bring my own chair, sit in the garden, bring a flask, and we can have a chat. But my mum, I'll say it quietly just in case she's listening, but she won't. She's as deaf as a post. Very deaf. I said it'd probably be best if you put your hearing aid in because otherwise the whole of Newcastle will hear our conversation. So she went, and then she said, you've only just caught me, so I've just got back from the shop from getting my newspaper. I said, so you've been to get your newspaper? And she said, yes. Oh, right. So do you actually go into the shop? Bear in mind, my mother is 86. So she said yes, and I went, and you've got to be very careful. There are 5 children in our family, and some of them like nag at her all the time. And I am not that one. I'm the best of the family by a mile. And so I gently said, do you think it's a good idea to go to the shop to get your newspaper? I'm not going to change my habits now. I could see her face. And so I said, well, I think you just have to sort of consider like that's, you know, someone else, you know, how many people have touched the door into the shop and maybe walked in front of you and sort of spluttered or coughed, or and then, you know, the money, that your change that's handed to you, who's handled it, maybe the person on the other side of the counter, the newspaper even, should be ridiculous. And I said, well, you know, Elizabeth's next door neighbour's a lung surgeon at the Freeman, and he said it's rife now in the northeast. I'm sorry, folks, but it's really absolutely rife in, I think, is it Middlesbrough and Sunderland, so it's obviously heading our way. She said, yeah, that's just in lower socio-economic groups. So, well, you know, where do you think your newspapers come from? Oh, she said, don't be so ridiculous. And I said, and I was trying to pick my words carefully, and I said, hello, Maria, sorry about it. If you come halfway through, it's just, you know, my mum and coronavirus and everything. And I said, well, we watched this programme and it was really quite shocking that the virus can, you know, it can live quite a long time, and really with a newspaper it should be left in your door and you should leave it for a while. It's the same with shopping. You're supposed to leave it for 24 hours and wipe everything down and da-de-da. Oh shit, that's ridiculous. And I said, well, actually, they did say that it can live on, you know, surfaces for, you know, up to 3 days. She said, why would I be going to the circus? I said, surfaces. It's so frustrating. Anyway, I hope that made you laugh. I had to ring one of my sisters to tell her that. Right, let's tip you up, and we'll just I'm looking out the window at these lovely tulips, the real ones, and the edges of the leaves are yellow. So I'm going to paint all these white bits yellow, and then we'll do something else more interesting. Where's Jules? Right. Oh, good, there's somebody laughing. Circus, surface. Okay, here we go. Marianne, don't forget to tell me. Oh, I can't read. It's just too frustrating for words. Oh, glasses, that's probably half the battle. Right. So I'm hoping that it isn't like too rule flaunting to go and see my old mum. So I'm just mixing on my board. I'll just turn you sideways a little bit just to see where I am mixing some colour. Yes, only just got back from my long walk last night, and time to hear Boris make everything so much clearer. What's people saying? I was watching Hannah send 3 and 4pence. Send it. Marianne Ray, what? Send 3 and 4pence. Okay, so not too rushed this morning because Fifey took Marv to the vet and we're waiting for a phone call because they do this thing apparently where they are going to... Marv is a little sausage dog who is literally skin and bone. He's got diabetes, and because it happened during the coronavirus, the normal beginning of medicating a dog with diabetes didn't take place. So he's gone in today to have all sorts of things done to him so that they can tell us the right amount of insulin to give him to try to get him feeling a bit better. And it's just like one thing after the other. So I come back from my walk, Fifey's coming down the track with Marv, and he's limping and then licking his back foot. He seems to have an abscess in between two of his pads. So I had a little go at it with a needle and didn't really get anywhere. So I just put some endomycin on, and I'm probably due for a jolly good telling off from the vet for using that. Great stuff. Right. So that is that. I think it's pretty much finished. Very good fun. Now then, Beth, if you're there, you asked me quina, whatever, the Q paint, and some French ultramarine for the darker bits. That's all. Right. Hair. So this is the third day we've been working on this hair. The first thing I'm going to do is something to the eye. Oops, not supposed to do that because apparently it can affect the sound on the iPad. We are going to a dance. At least you know we are going to a dance. Can I come? Actually, I'm not sure that that is allowed yet. Remember, I would like to test my colours on a scrap. I'm just going to, what we're going to do, make this bit here a little darker. Turn it upside down to let gravity help, because as somebody spotted the other day, this drawing board is on a slant. Quite often what I do is I bulldog clip a painting to a board, and then you can tip it any way you like, and sometimes I'll just stand it upright for a little while. So that the paint will go, it'll follow gravity. Okay. And then the pupil of the eye, that was really just the first layer. I'm going to get some Payne's Grey, the darkest colour that I have. And again, I think I'll turn it upside down because that suits me, and I'm guessing it probably suits you too. That is beautiful. Oh, you're so nice. Oh, that's the other painting you're saying is beautiful. It's a Dad's Army joke. I can tell you. Oh, I've missed the Dad's Army joke. My favourite Dad's Army joke is when they get captured by the Germans, and Mannering says, "Don't tell them your name, Pike!" Stupid boy. Okay, I think that's probably about... That's quite good. That looks like an eye. If you're a blind man galloping past. I would think that if you, for instance, if you went to some fancy, I don't know, portraiture college in Florence, you might actually get taught all sorts of tricks about how to do portraits and superb eyes, or you can spend your whole life just making mistakes. A bit like me. So this little hair needs his whiskers, which come out of little whisker holes. And I need to find an even smaller brush to do whiskers with. Oh, that's not a particularly good one. Test it. Yep. Okay. They sort of have eye whiskers as well here, but I'm just thinking, not exactly sure where I'm going next with that. I'm also thinking about the ground. And just wondering if there's something here that I can use rather than starting from scratch, paint-wise. It's finding an earthy colour. But the feet will still stand out. Maybe I need to go a bit more blue. I don't know. Oh yes, I've got to do the little sort of definition of the pores. I was just looking at something on my shelf back there, remembering how I do like to include sort of animal encounters. And a couple of years ago, Fifey came back from a bike ride with a couple of really quite interesting things, which I'll just get down right there. We found these just on a tarmac road, just like that, a couple of toads. Now why? What caused them to die so desiccated, but looking so okay? It's almost as if they'd been electrocuted and then frazzled. They're pretty lovely, aren't they? Can you see them? Just put them up there. Where's my paint gone? So these are all the areas where it's a bit more in shadow. Oh, where did I find my paint? There. God, there's some more absolutely gorgeous paintings on Lockdown, aren't there? Lockdown Gang, the Facebook group, which you are all welcome to join, obviously. Where you can just put your efforts. Some of them are amazing, some of them are very, very accomplished, and some of them are people doing putting their very, very first paintings up, which is quite something. And I do believe that I have probably shot myself in the foot, as I've mentioned before, because there's some just superb stuff. This is quite nice. I need to put the colours of the veins of the leaves in as well. And again, I'm just searching here for something to save me mixing anything for the first time, really. There's a bit of yellow, a little bit of green, something a bit lighter. No, I'm not sure about that. doesn't really matter. It's not really that contrasty. Is everything we're made? Thank goodness. I hope Ma has kept to the script. Sorry I'm late, I had important stuff. Jules, I'm not sure about that. Important. Okay. I didn't go for a swim yesterday, actually. I don't know why, and it certainly wasn't the temperature, because as I mentioned, it can be even, it's nicer getting into cold water when the weather's cold, because it's not such a contrast, doesn't give you a shock. On the contrary. Went for quite a big walk though. With Dorothy. Dorothy the dachshund. Dorothy the only healthy dachshund who's capable of walking very far. We've got three. There's the wire-haired one who's just not a great walker. We've had a few wire-haired ones and then they're just not really super walkers, the ones we've had anyway. If you take him for a walk that's like too long, he's practically crippled the next day. I'm gonna. And then Marv is just not great at the moment, but I think he will be. I think he'll get back to full strength. And then I'm going to continue these taller leaves in the background. Which brush shall I use? Not that one, that one. So I'm just going to go like a bit darker again. Test it. More blue, I think. Okay. Oh, Peach, you need a border terrier. I do not need a border terrier. I do not like border terriers. Sorry. I just don't. I think they look like seals. And I don't know. I mean, they're probably like everything else. Once you sort of get to know them, you love them. But I'm not there yet. Remember, I was sort of following the shape of the ear for these leaves, which is quite a nice, I don't know, just a thing. My sister-in-law, who lives down in the Fens in Cambridgeshire, they grow a lot of sugar beet, stuff like that. They live in a village called Littleport, and it's got bigger and bigger. It's one of those places in Cambridgeshire that has had lots of new development, like new villages. Sorry, I'm getting a bit far away. And all around them that used to be fields is now development and houses. They sadly had all their chickens nicked last week, stolen, which is quite unusual, I would say. But She's had a whole load hatched last night and sent some pictures. So I'm hoping she has too many. We can get a few, although I have got Dickie Carruthers Light Sussex trio coming soon, haven't I? I mustn't forget. Now that travel restrictions seem to be somewhat eased, although it really is not that clear. And I don't think that I can get staff back here. I've got 3 on furlough, and there's not. I think it would be too difficult for them to come back to work because they've both got 2 school-aged children, and also there's not much point having them come back to work when people can't come here to do any, shopping. So, like buying art. I quite like that depth. Sort of getting quite pleasing. Your brushes must be incredibly soft. Mine splay all over the place when I put pressure on them. I tried a big brush. I ended up with a splodge. Okay, I'm going to move that to one side. See if I can find a scrap of it here. So you say the brush is soft. Well, they're synthetic, and if you put a lot of water, it holds an enormous amount of water. You can see. Now that is a lot of paint. There's no reason at all why your brushes shouldn't do that. They are. They do. They really do feel nice. And as I say, the type of brush I use is on my website, shop, lockdown, gang, details, and the details of the paint and the paper and the colours that I use are all there. And these brushes are divine. I was going to show you something else. Somebody asked me, thank you, someone asked me about painting bare trees. Right? So it's just like a scrap of paper here. So when I was coming back, my phone's just made a sound. Is that more member only 18 to go? When I came back from my walk, I spent quite a lot of time looking. Oh, my tea, Jules, you mustn't forget. Nearly cold. I do not believe the time. I looked across at East Woodburn. I spent quite a lot of time looking not at the trees lower down in the valley, which have got their leaves on mostly now, or getting there, but, so I tip you, I feel a bit odd. I have those brushes, they don't do that. Why not? What you have to do, you haven't missed anything. It's like you twist and press. Like twist and press, and then you can get those lovely, lovely shapes. Not me. I've got sable. I would not buy sable brushes because they cost a lot of money, and today, unusually, I don't have any abused brushes, but I don't forget, you bloody... Jules, this is not the sort of language I expect from the lockdown gang. And especially for watercolours, I don't know, I honestly don't know. Ma had offered you an original if you... You're funny, you lot. Anyway, so I'm looking at the trees that don't have the leaves on, and I thought, I'll give it a go. So I will. And I'm going to tip you up because you'll get a better view. Hello, Alison Irwin. I hope your baby is doing well. Right, so here. I had all the right brushes ready too. This is so weird. Okay, so I thought as I was looking, and then I'll go to the next size down. But the most important part was the looking. It really is. It's like, and then the next brush. Get a smaller brush again. I think maybe even smaller still. We start to get something that really does look a bit like a bare tree. It's quite... Just need to do, you know, experimenting really, that's all. So, oops. So if you imagine, you know, you're, whatever. It's not too bad. Obviously, you know, it's a bit of a sort of shaped a bit like a hand, but you could sort of work from that. And there were other trees that were more like sort of more tall and slender. Like I like silver birches a lot, not when they block my view, like the ones right outside my flipping bedroom window that Fifey absolutely refuses to fell. And it's not like we haven't got thousands of trees, we have. So, yeah, that's something I don't like. I don't really like dry. I like wet. It's sort of asking me to do something. Trees. I'm trying to lose the bird sitting in the treetops. Yep, that bird, that gigantic bird is sitting in the treetops. Ooh, where were we? And I think that Helen Foster, how are you? Haven't seen you for ages. Petra Tracy, time. Yeah, don't worry, I've got an idea. I'll just going to start another painting. Like I mentioned before, you know, painting around the seasons, you've got to do it when it's there. And I'd quite like to do another painting a bit like my phone case one. You see that one there? And I know I've done something like this before, but they take quite a long time, so I'm sort of all prepared. I've got so I've got all these lovely things that I like to include right in front of me here. Put them back. I'll go and get my piece of paper. Hello, Jeff Hunt. How are you? Jeff, did you not post some snow yesterday from Peter Heed? Love the splat on the turnabout. Thank you. T. This message was from earlier. Wait now. So the plan on this piece of paper is to... We don't do anything that relates to Rolf Harris anymore. Anyway, the plan you have a lot of beautiful wildflowers. Well, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, but they are all coming now. Oh, just move a little hair out of the way. Nice, very sweet. I'll start building up this briefly and then I'll say goodbye, so I'll do a little bit more. Now then. Okay. Which brush was I using? Because I was just working on this when the time became a bit pressing. So I'll just do a few more. I'm just doing these sort of heart-shaped leaves here, down at the bottom. And the plan is also to do some ferns, and then have some of the lower flowers like the bluebells, and then just work my way up with the campion and the Welsh poppies, or whatever they're called, the knapweed, forget-me-nots, and just try and build up a real story of spring. Ooh, I need to move you. There. And as I said the last time we did something like this is something any of you can do. You just go out and... Oh, dandelions! Ha! Yeah. They were rather nice, and also the dandelion leaves are lovely. I really enjoy doing them. So I'll probably be doing that this afternoon. Just need to get some. Do I have anything? So do carry on putting your lovely, lovely paintings. My sister did a self-portrait last night. That's the one who stole my art to win the prize, Liz Else. She did a self-portrait in acrylics and sent it to me. And it's just her, it's absolutely her. And I said, oh, put it on. She said, well, it's not finished yet. And I said, we'll do a bit more and then put it on the lockdown page. It'd be lovely. So I think I may wrap things up rather than run the risk of ruining quite a big piece of paper. You have a lot of work. Can't wait to see how you paint the ferns. Fiona, I can't get them right either, so I wouldn't worry about that. I have... actually, I think I'll probably do this. Rather than focus too much on what can go wrong, I'll see if I can just find a piece of paper. For the ferns, probably get the brush like this and just go like that. So obviously that's like the tip, and this is the... And then if I had one, say that was sort of piece of paper tipping towards me, like that. Just that's how I've done them in the past anyway. Just a sort of a one brush thing. Right, do you have an overall design in advance? No, this is completely organic. It just will evolve, I hope. Right, well, it's been a delight. Have a lovely day. I'll do this again tomorrow, but Wednesday I'm going to the circus. No, I'm not, but anyone who heard the beginning of the video will know what I'm talking about. So yeah, see you tomorrow. Have a great day.